Hey Tara, thank you so much for your patience in this message coming to you. I have a moment where I am just in a good space and I'm tuned in, and I heard to record this for you. I don't even know what I'm going to say, but I have been feeling into just where you're at and into the vibration I felt as we did the shadow contract workshop, the vibration I felt specifically as you were talking about the entities around you, the reptilian energy. And remember, take all of what I say right now with your own intuition and literally with a grain of salt. Bring salt in, the salt of the earth. Allow your body to be involved in this process, your heart, your deeper urge, the heaven on earth version of you. And what I'm about to say, listen with an open mind outside of the story, any story you've told previously. Allow yourself to get neutral. Allow yourself to get in a space of witness. You have epic discernment. You will read through the energy of what I'm saying to the truth of whatever your soul and heart need to hear, and your body as well. So the energy as it was presented to me in the workshop, the way that I felt as you were speaking, and since I've tapped in a few times and just tuned in and asked what was going on there. The important thing to understand is that reptilian energy, when we are experiencing it as polarity, when we're experiencing it as something other than us and something scary, it means that what is happening in the moment is our physical bodies are literally resonating in a fault line of trauma or in a space of trauma. And this trauma can be from any point of your, I'm hearing, soul's existence. So it doesn't necessarily have to be in this body, but the more evolved your soul is, the older your soul is, the more experiences you've had on this earth, especially in a human body where there's been trauma, you may have deep cycles of physical trauma in the body that has come from years and years, like millennia of war, like all of us. But what I feel specifically with you, there's aspects of what I'm going to say that's going to sound really specific to like extraterrestrial type of conversation. But all of that's still just a story. And it's a way to tell a story around something that's actually going on inside of you that is reflecting back to you something you need to see. And you're such a powerful reflector and projector. You're such a powerful manifester. You're such a powerful experiencer of the physical world that your body can so deeply tune in that you can literally manifest physicality in the astral realm. And that physicality can show itself to you. But if you do not trust that power, if you don't understand it yet, when you hit up against a space in you that feels fearful, rather than allowing the aspect of I'm hearing your extra dimensional abilities to kick on in a neutral, observant way to show you energetically what's going on, so that it doesn't feel scary. What's happening is the physical body is literally in a fight or flight, because that's how powerfully you can manifest physicality around you. So if you're in fear, that astral physicality, that spiritual aspect will manifest physically as an aspect of something you fear. And in this case, reptilian energy. Reptilian energy is so deeply programmed in our bodies, like the reptilian brain, that subconscious mind. It's where the power is. It's where all the power is. We just haven't been conscious of it. So when we're talking about reptilian energy, it's easy to just put the reptilian in place of anything sinister that we feel, anything. It's like, I guess they are the embodiment of all that we fear. but they literally represent our unintegrated power. It's always an aspect of ourselves that we're viewing. And because you've had so many experiences in the physical world, on earth, in the physical body, specifically in the last 2,000 years, in a lot of the human trauma, it tells me that your body, this body that you have right now, is highly sophisticated when it comes to transmuting energy. You are transmuting multidimensionally. So you could easily, in a split second, call in some of the darkest, most fearful vibrations if there's an aspect of what you're feeling that feels scary to you or unfamiliar or dangerous. And your body's responding as if it's a threat, which means that your body feels threatened. And that's all that you need to know. So the second you feel threatened in your body, that fight or flight, that your extrasensory abilities tuning on, like, wait, something foreign is here, the remedy is to tune in to the most familiar aspect of yourself that you can. And in this case, the mind. Because your mind is that reptilian power. So when we get really good working in the astrals, we remember that it's spiritual. And in the spiritual realm, like energy matches like energy. So if we are experiencing a vibration of fear, everything in the simulation around us is going to turn to slightly an enemy. And I don't know if you've seen the second Avatar movie on Netflix. It's not a movie, this TV series, the one that's Korra. It's called Korra, not the Last Airbender, but something. Korra something. The Legend of Korra. I think that's what it is. The Legend of Korra. I don't know that show will resonate with you or not, but there is in the final seasons, in one of the the episodes, it's all about how she has to learn mastery of the spiritual dimension. She's very physical, and that's her strength, is in all the physical world. She's a water sign, so she's naturally really good with water. But when her area that she struggles with most as an avatar to integrate is her air bending, air representing the mind, the spiritual realm, the ability to observe, to get neutral. And to just like the monks, like the airbenders in the show are the monks. They're very monk-like, but they have the ability to move the wind. And it's by tuning in so deeply and getting observant, so that they can see things from a bird's eye view, so to speak, in the astral realms. So the airbenders go into the spiritual dimension and they shift things there. They can literally go into the spirit world through meditation and see what's going on there and how it's connected to what's going on earth. So what I see is that your shadow integration is very much about integrating your mind, your power, the power of your mind, the power that you have to tune into extrasensory abilities that give you access to what many would call more of a extraterrestrial ability. These kind of abilities are connected to telepathic communication, to telekinesis, the ability literally to move things in the physical dimension. So if those gifts in you are spontaneously turning on, but you haven't integrated the consciousness of yourself as that's not familiar to you, it's going to feel foreign. And so you're going to project it outside of you, and then you powerfully pull it in. So your whole simulation is going to be like, look, it's all around, because it's that real. And if you don't trust that aspect of you, you're working with the spiritual dimension here. So you're working with the unseen world. So if there's distrust, it's everything in the unseen realm is going to reflect back to you distrust, or something that feels harmful or scary, or that it will hurt you. And the deeper we believe that, the more real that is. And so when I said in the workshop, I kept saying it's real, and you're like, I know it's real, I see it. Really what it's that you have this amazing ability to make things that real. You're that powerful of a creator. Your beliefs literally reflect and manifest physically. And if you really understood that your gifts, that's your power, it's like you're learning to integrate that power so it doesn't overpower you and therefore hurt you. And so it very much involves, when we're talking about this level of shadow integration, it very much involves the ability to integrate or see, confront, overcome. There's lots of different words, but really it's to see that our fear is actually just an absence of an aspect of our knowing and our memory of what we are. So whenever we're in fear, it's just simply because that something's triggered us back into lack. Something's triggered us back in, and remember, you carry thousands of years of that DNA of lack. Many of us do that are here, that your soul has been here so many times in the physical body. That's why you have such mastery of the physical world. But you don't realize in this life you haven't yet remembered that you're an avatar, remembered that you are a bender. You can bend the physical dimension through your conscious creation in the astrals. So it's like, allow yourself when you go into the astrals, or when you're deep in your deep sight, your insight, your multidimensional abilities, you feel it and see it all palpably. You experience it literally in physicality. So what that's showing you is that fine-tune then what you're tuning into, because you will manifest it that physically, that palpably, that powerfully. And when we're in such a time as these, there truly is a war going on spiritually, multidimensionally. So if we stay in the old, what's the word I'm looking for? In our old perceptions of ourselves, like who you are in abundance, who you are like comfortable in your mastery of telekinesis and Clara, like all your it's all T stuff for you. Telepathy, telekinesis, clairsentience for sure. But as you get more comfortable in that and get comfortable in your power, then you can consciously use it. And so you're really fine-tuning right now. You're deeply tuned in to your power. And anywhere in the past that's literally activated in your DNA, in your soul chart, in your soul's experiences, any unintegrated trauma. In other words, any trapped trauma that was never witnessed. Witness has to do with the air, the ability to look, to witness. The mind is involved in this. So at a deep level, you're learning to integrate your mind in a powerful way, like allowing it to set you free rather than enslave you or entrap you. So I feel as if, as you hear this and as you open your heart chakra and remember that your mind in every way is learning a map of a new world. You've studied deeply the old world, so you know the war matrix so well. You know every dimension of it. You have, like, what I'm hearing is war intelligence. Like it's not secret service, just what's the word? Intelligence, deep intelligence. You work in intelligence, and remember that matrix of lack is real. We literally, because we're creators, we can create whatever we want. So we can create a monster outside of us that is intended to hurt us, and we have co-collectively done that. This isn't just about you, Tara, in this life. This is this co-collective, co-creative energy that many souls participate, many creators participated in. So you have inside data, inside intelligence to that, the real war, the details of what's actually going on in the 3D matrix, the 3D lack matrix. So you can, I don't know, it's something about tune into that knowledge and give it to who needs it in that realm. You know, even if you just psychically give it, if you telepathically give it, let who needs to know. I'm feeling and seeing you literally sending telepathic messages to key people in the grid. And I have to be careful about what I say. I'm not going to use specifics, but I think you know what I mean. So key people in the grid, key people, specifically key players in the lack matrix that are literally pulling strings that are going to shift things. And what's happening at a deep level is an anomaly, an awakening, and you know this. So there's information coming in that all the principalities of the lack matrix, which includes negative extraterrestrials, they cannot and could not foresee because they're just a program. You're connected to divine discernment, divine intuition, divine life force that's emanating from you. So that's the power that you have. And it's what I actually see. Remember when Emily said work with Sasha, she's part of the resistance? Reptilians work as a hive mind. So once a human being who's been deeply entrenched in the hive mind wakes up, they still have, it's like their brain has powerfully developed to understand the inside out of that world. And reptilian energy, again, is who's pulling the strings behind the scenes. So when an aspect of you wakes up, and we move from using just our reptilian brain to our like higher consciousness, we start allowing our brains to be a receiver of consciousness that's just a more aligned to the win-win-win, more aligned to heaven on earth. It's giving it the data. It's like giving the aspect of you that has been in the hive mind and the lack matrix, giving it the program of there's another blueprint. There's a word, and I can't hear it, but it's like a matrix. There's another blueprint. It's a word there. There's another dimension that's closer. There's an equation that your telekinesis, telepathic senses can tune into, and because it's like you just have to exercise it and know you can do it. Like you have power and you can shift things powerfully. And you know it because you're experiencing this so powerfully. It's affecting everyone in your home, including your dog. So you know, or I can't remember if you said your dog or your cat, but it's that intimate to you. It's an aspect of you you're experiencing, but it's an aspect of your power that you have not yet in this lifetime understood or been able to really master yet. You're learning to master it as you master this fear, as you master this deep understanding about what's going on in that, with that reptilian energy. And that's part of that shadow contract. So my wish and my hope, no, it's not even hope. You've got this. And I feel this powerful surge of hope, because as I've delivered this message to you, I'm like, oh, thank God there's people with these kind of gifts. I've known that the quote unquote battle of the lack matrix is being fought in the astrals. So people with extrasensory powers that have never fully been turned on, that truly are for the win-win-win, that's going to change the equation massively when you really get what you're capable of doing. When you really get it. And I know this message is part of you starting to really get it. It already happened. You already set part of the matrix free. You already did it. You set yourself free, which changed the equation, which changed the math, which changed everything. You're key. You are a key player in this. And that's why that energy feels so powerful and so scary, because that's what a key player you are in this. So I hope this message was helpful. I know it was helpful. I know it was helpful because I feel it in every part of me. And I'm grateful for you, and I'm grateful that you showed up, and I'm grateful that you were so honest. I'm grateful that you allowed space. I know that you, in many ways, your gifts are very advanced. So I can imagine partly doing a workshop like that, you have to kind of sift through a lot of it's like second nature to you. And you're like, wait, let's get to what's really, really going on. Yeah, we all know we're extrasensory. Like, but what is this? Like, what is going on? Do you guys feel what's going on? That's what I felt like was an anomaly for you in the way you showed up. So I'm glad you did. I'm glad you opened that space. I am integrating that shadow contract workshop because you were all powerful. And obviously, if we're going to do a shadow contract workshop, that means we're going to be moving massive stuff. And that means that anytime we get triggered in the flip side of it, it's going to be an insane amount of data that will help us catapult. So I'm grateful that you showed up, and let me know how this message resonated if you want. I hope you're doing well.